Hello there and a warm welcome to Superscreen's News at 10, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Adinike Owoye Ajiboye. Lawmaker representing Delta Central Senatorial District, Senator Ovie Omo Agege, says despite the appeal filed by the Senate and its President, Bukola Saraki, against the Federal High Court's judgment nullifying his suspension, he will still resume legislative duties. According to him, the Senate and Saraki have only applied for a stay of execution at the Court of Appeal, which has not been granted. He also accused Saraki of seeking the relief for a stay of execution from a court of law which he had allegedly ignored and gone ahead to approve his suspension. You will recall that the Senate had on April 12, 2018, suspended Omo Agege for 90 legislative days for taking the chamber to court over the amendment of the Electoral Act 2010, which seeks to reshuffle the sequence of polls during the general election. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has petitioned the United Nations (UN) over the detention of leader of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria (IMN) leader Ibrahim El-Zakzaky and his wife, as well as the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki, retired. In a statement by SERAP, Deputy Director Timothy Adewale, the organization accused the federal government of disobeying court orders. The petition was dated May 11, 2018 and addressed to UN Special Rapporteur on the independence of judges and lawyers, Diego Garcia Sanyan. You will recall that El-Zakzaky was detained after members of the Shiite group clashed with soldiers in Zaria in December 2015, while Colonel Dasuki has been accused of diverting $2.1 billion belonging to the federal government while he served as the NSA. In its petition, SERAP asked the UN to prevail on the government to end persistent disobedience of court rulings and orders. Now, the Conference of National Assembly Legislative Aides, CONASLA, a forum of current and former aides to members of the National Assembly, has called for the immediate resignation of Ibrahim Idris, the Inspector General of Police, IGP. You will recall that the IGP had severally failed to appear before the Senate on 3 occasions. In a statement, Chairman of CONASLA, Abdullahi Al-Mustafa, said the IGP should put aside his short-sighted interest and ego and brief the Senate on measures taken by the police to end the killings across the country. The chairman also said the IGP should resign in favor of someone who is more law-abiding and respect the gravity of the current security situation in the nation. Major opposition parties and third force elements are expected to hold joint and separate talks in the coming days with a view to supporting one presidential candidate towards President Muhammadu Buhari. Parties that will participate in the discussions include the People's Democratic Party (PDP), African Democratic Congress (ADC), and the Social Democratic Party (SDP), among others. Already, the Nigerian Intervention Movement is presently holding alliance talks with the Coalition for New Nigeria, a coalition of 35 political parties. You will recall that the Obasanjo-led Coalition for Nigeria movement had adopted the ADC as its party. The national coordinator of the coalition, Olagusoye Unyilola, told journalists that there is still room for the ADC to forge alliance with other interested parties to oust President Muhammadu Buhari in next year's general elections. National Examination Council, NECO. Of National Examination Council, NECO, Professor Charles Uwakwe has been suspended over alleged financial mismanagement and abuse of office. Also suspended are 2 deputy directors in charge of finance and procurement, respectively, in the council. According to reports, they are on suspension pending the outcome of the investigation of an allegation of misappropriation of funds against them. Report also says the officials were suspended for allegedly awarding contracts to the tune of 25 billion naira without following due process. Uwakwe is also alleged to be involved in recruitment and the council without following due process. Mega Local Government Council in Jigawa State says no fewer than 62,521 children will be immunized at the ongoing polio immunization in the state. The 5-day exercise, which began on Saturday, is currently being conducted across the 27 local government areas of the state. Information Officer Abdullahi Yakubu, who disclosed this to journalists, said the council has received a total of 72,000 doses of oral polio vaccines from the state government. He explained that the council has also provided light refreshment to woo children to participate in the exercise, while they also engaged 34 religious focal persons to sensitize people on the need to have their kids immunized. He commended members of vigilante group and school teachers in the area for their support towards the conduct of the exercise. In education matters, as part of efforts aimed at encouraging hard work and excellence in secondary school, the Academic Excellence Initiative, AEI, organized her annual 2018 Scholarship Award ceremony. The event, which featured quiz and award giving, saw students leave even more inspired than they came.
In what has become a positive trend, the 2018 Academic Excellence Initiative, AEI Award, started with loads of expectation, just as the previous edition. The award, which is given in recognition to students with academic distinctions, lived up to its hype as guests and dignitaries, as well as recipients of the award and students, made their way to the venue.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The funds allocated to the education sector keeps rising, even in Lagos State here. Lagos State will continue to do its best to fund education. The teaching service is professionalized now. If you don't have a teaching qualification, you cannot be a teacher in Lagos State. Again, we are looking at the minimum qualification of even a graduate coming into our schools.
I am proud to stand before you because after joining WAEC from working in a factory, in a textile factory, Nigerian textile mills, I told myself the only thing I can do to improve myself to understand validity, reliability, and consistency in education is to go and pick a course in education.
It is with honor that I stand this morning to re-echo the need for the government, school, private school supervisors, and other stakeholders to practically strengthen academic excellence in Nigeria with up-to-date mentorship scheme that will make the students to attain the general educational goal. It is because of this background that we have chosen creating an enabling educational system that works for you as the theme of 2018 Award Scholars Day.
Organizers of the annual event talked up the importance of having such a program which rewards excellence and promotes educational distinction in all sectors, particularly in the students.
We want to appreciate them more when they have achieved excellence in their academics by awarding scholarships, even for them, by helping them in gaining admission into best schools, even here in Nigeria. We can create an education system that works. Yes, with the right policies in place. When we have the right policies, we ensure that the policies are implementable.
This kind of program called Awards to Scholars Day is meant to reward the excellent ones. Having undergone some level of competitions, one of the aim is to inculcate excellence, academic excellence and moral excellence in our students. So on a yearly basis, we organize programs including counseling, including examinations, maybe mock exams before JAMB or before their SSC.
We'll be happy if we have corporate organization coming in to sponsor this type of program, and it will make them to carry so many candidates along, so many students. It will make them to invite more schools, more teachers, more parents into this.
To encourage the young ones, for them to be able to buckle up and to be somebody important in life.
With the 2018 edition all over, all hands are on deck to ensure the 2019 edition supersedes all expectation, with the students hoping to give in their best to become best in their academic divisions.
You're still watching Superscreen News at 10. We'll take a short break here, and when we return, we'll bring you business news. Just stay.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice, at least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigerian government are keeping quiet. Housemen are killing people. Why? It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family. You are affecting my village. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not a mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Each shop got 4 million naira. So I don't have the money, so I have to leave. If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. No, we experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it. The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
Well, it's so glad to have you back now in business news. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NACA, has announced the suspension of the Air Operators Certificate of First Nation Airways indefinitely. The suspension was conveyed to the airline via a letter and signed by the Director General, Dr. Usman. In a statement signed by the General Manager Public Relations, NCAA, Sam Adrugboy, the regulator stated that the suspension is sequel to flagrant and continuous violation of terms and conditions of the issuance of its AOC by the carrier, thereby carrying out unauthorized and illegal operations. Adrugboy said that when the AOC First Nation Airways expired, the airline did not have at least 2 airworthy aircraft capable of servicing its approved schedule as required by Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulation 2015. Nigerian Oil National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has announced the appointment of Mele Kyari as Nigeria's national representative to the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Indu Ugamadu, who discussed this to journalists, said the appointment was made by Nigeria's head of delegation to the OPEC conference and Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiko. He also said that Kyari, before the appointment, was the incumbent Group General Manager in charge of its crude oil marketing the vision. Ugamadu also said new position requires Kyari to lead Nigeria's team to the OPEC Economic Commission Board, ECB, which precedes the biannual meetings of the OPEC Ministerial Conference. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has blamed commercial banks for sabotaging its efforts in replacing the mutilated notes with new ones in the country. Acting Director Communications Department of the CBN, Isaac Okorafo, who disclosed this to journalists, said the Apex Bank is aware of the development and has taken several measures to address the rise in incidents of mutilated notes in the country. Okorafo said one of the steps taken by CBN in mopping up the mutilated notes from the system is the reduction in the amount it charges banks for sorting the dirty notes for the clean ones from 12,000 naira to 1,000 naira per box. Okorafo confirmed that the opportunity was limited to lower denomination naira notes comprising 50 naira, 20 naira, and 10 naira notes, appealed to Nigerians to handle the national currency with care, as it is a symbol of identity. And that's it in business news. We'll take another short break here, and when we return, we'll bring you news from the foreign scene and then sports. So join us again. Thanks for staying with us. And now in international news, thousands of protesters have called for an end to alleged rights abuses by Pakistan's military at the latest rally by a group known as Grassroots Rights Group. Pashtun Tahaffuz Movement, PTM, a human rights group formed earlier this year, held the rally in southern Pakistan's city of Karachi. The PTM is calling for greater rights for Pakistani ethnic Pashtun population, which forms roughly 15% of the 207 million population and resides mainly in the country's northwest, where the fight against the Pakistani Taliban has remained focused. At least 8 people have been killed in a car bomb explosion near a provincial government building in Afghanistan's eastern province of Nangarhar. 4 attackers stormed the finance directorate in the provincial capital, Jalalabad, triggering heavy fighting with security officials. Spokesman for the governor of Nangarhar province, Atakula Koyani, said 8 civilians, including 3 finance department employees, were killed in the car bomb attack. 42 people were also wounded. The Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, ISIL, also known as ISIS, a group, claimed responsibility for the attack. And now talking sports news this morning, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Vincent Enyama has congratulated the French club Lille for securing their status in the League One with 1 game remaining this season. Lille beat visiting Dijon 2-1 on Saturday, which guarantees them a top-flight football next season. The win saw them move up to 15th place on 38 points, 4 points away from the drop zone and the 20-team League One table, which means they cannot be relegated anymore. You will recall that Inyama has not made a single appearance for Lille this season due to injury. The former Super Eagles goalie is in the final year of his contract as Lille and could be on his way out of the club this summer. Now, Liverpool striker Mohamed Salah has been named Premier League Player of this season. The Egypt international forward has been a revelation at Anfield with his stunning efforts, seeing him showered with praise and prestigious personal prizes. Salah has already called a PFA Player of the Year award and FWA Player of the Year double